Om Shanti. Baba is asking us to be intoxicated. Intoxicated about what? About being Shiv Baba's child, who Shiv Baba has adopted through Brahma Baba. And Baba says you should have the intoxication of this. Now, do you understand that in Bhakti, on Shivratri, they have this ritual of getting intoxicated. So, they drink some bhang or something and then they will get intoxicated. Now, Baba has told us that whatever happens in Bhakti is actually truly happening in Sangam Yuga, but a twisted form of it is practiced in Bhakti. A very body conscious interpretation of it, or a body conscious form of something that is spiritual and symbolic, is what is celebrated in Bhakti. Now, Baba tells us that when Shiv Baba comes, he makes us souls the most intoxicated. And this intoxication is not through some drink or something, and it is not temporary. And in India we say Narayani Nasha. Narayani Nasha is the highest form of intoxication. And Baba says, now I'm getting you high on knowledge, on truth. And the truth about I, God Himself, coming and adopting you children through Brahma Baba's mouth. This truth is very intoxicating. So, if you just realize that Shiv Baba Almighty Himself has adopted me through Brahma Baba's mouth, and in fact, not even mouth, we are the creations. All who came after Brahma Baba became Avyakt. We are a creation of his thought. So through Brahma Baba's thought, we are adopted to Shiv Baba. So whatever the method, but now we belong to the highest on high. And that highest on high, Supreme Father, Supreme Teacher, Sat Guru Akal. So, somebody who is the Sat Guru and immortal, that immortal Sat Guru has adopted us, and we belong to the highest on high. We are studying from the highest on high. So, do you think that you have the intoxication which goes with this truth? So, this is such a big happy news, and this is if I am in the realization of this truth all day, then it would reflect in my state, in my face, everything. And have you seen people who share good news with a grim face, and then you say, what's happened to your face? The news is so good, why aren't you happy? And the same goes with us. Sometimes we tell other people that we have found God, and then it doesn't look like you've found God. It doesn't look like you're Baba's children. So Baba says, where is the intoxication? Where is the intoxication that I, in the present moment, in this present Sangam Yuga, I belong to Shiv Baba Himself. I am studying from Shiv Baba Himself, and Baba has adopted me through Brahma Baba. So where is that intoxication? Now, why is the intoxication not there? Now, the intoxication not being there is because, again, there is a method to everything. Baba says, Vidhi se Siddhi. which means whatever you want to have, there is a method to arrive at that. And because the method has some loopholes, so that state is not there. So what is the method to intoxication, or to that being in that state where you're always intoxicated, in this state where you know who you are and who you belong to? So Baba has told us, in Hindi it is called apni ghot to nasha chadhe, which means you have to churn the truth yourself so that you receive the intoxication of it. So, every day Baba is speaking the Murli with so much happiness, is he not? Can you feel the happiness with which, the zeal and enthusiasm with which Baba speaks the Murli? Yes. And every day your Nimit instrument also shares the points very happily with you. Yes, but when will you feel that happiness? Not only when you listen to it. Of course, listening is important because sometimes some things don't occur to us individually, but when we listen to, of course, Baba and Murli is the foundation, but even when we listen to instrument sharing, then also some points enter our intellect. That's also one thing. But the other thing is, even after listening to everything and understanding everything, where is the intoxication? So have you seen that when you are listening to the Murli or when the class is going on, there are moments when you feel, wow, yes, what Baba said in the Murli is beautiful, and today I really liked it. But then, it's just like a wow and then it fades. But why does that wow moment, or that moment when you feel high on that point, not stay? Because we don't churn on it later. So Baba says, the more you churn on things, so today Baba says you are Brahman Kulbushan, Swadarshan Chakradhari. So, you are the ones who have the Swadarshan Chakra, and you are the highest even in the Brahmin clan. So, when we listen to these words, and I remember the first time I heard Brahman Kulbushan, then it was explained to me that Brahman Kulbushan means you don't only belong to the Brahmin clan, but you are the abhushan, or the ornament of this clan. So you are the jewel of the Brahmin clan. And then when I just thought about it, it gave me goosebumps that I'm not only a good Brahmin, but I'm like the jewel of the Brahmin clan. And I really felt the happiness of that. But how many times do we sit and reflect on the titles that Baba gives me, or the truth that Baba reminds me, or the erstwhile deity kingdom, or the inheritance that I had that Baba is reminding me of? So, or the fact that, Shiv Baba has directly adopted me, and I belong to the Almighty. I am studying from the highest teacher. So do you think about these things? Because apni ghot to nasha chadhe. The more you churn on these, that intoxication will increase. And just think about, if you don't churn on these elevated, full of intoxication truth, then what do you churn about? What are you churning on? What is your mind churning every time? Obviously the opposite of it. And just like, when you churn on what Baba says, and you churn on powerful truth. It gives you intoxication, and it fills you with zeal and enthusiasm and hope and faith and a lot of other things. Similarly, when you do the opposite, that saps your spiritual energy. So when you are churning on, why, what, how, what if, these kinds of things, then the opposite of intoxication is happening. All that happiness is gone, all that fervor is gone, all that zeal and enthusiasm is lost. So Baba says, keep reflecting on the fact that I am Shiv Baba's child, and Shiv Baba has adopted me through Brahma Baba. I'm Shiv Baba's child and the mouth-born creation of Brahma. And my clan is the highest. I belong to the most elevated clan. Baba says the Brahmin clan is more elevated than the deity clan also. Yes, Baba says that in this whole cycle, we belong to many clans, Varna or Kul. And what are the different clans? We become a deity, we become a Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Yes, and then a Brahmin. So we come into these 5 clans. And do you know that in the Gita, in the world, it is written, everybody does their caste duty. So, the caste duty is mentioned in the Gita. And the caste is not something which is fixed. It's not like, the caste of this birth or this body. Baba says, I, the soul, change my caste and clan every yuga. Yes, so I become a deity, a Kshatriya, a Vaishya, a Shudra, and now I am a Brahmin. And when I am a Brahmin, this is my highest caste. And why is this my highest caste or highest clan? This time I am the highest. Why? Because I do the duty which is the highest. So Baba says, every caste is characterized by their duty. So, earlier people in the world also, in society also, the caste was decided by what you do, not where you are born. But slowly when the tamo pradhanta increases, then the caste is associated with where you're born. But Baba says, I'm not talking about those physical or social labels that you work with. I'm talking about the real caste, which is based on what the soul does, the actions that you perform. And Baba says, your clan, your caste is the highest, in Sangam Yuga. So you, the soul, are doing your highest duty in Sangam Yuga. And what is that duty? Doing seva and spiritual seva. And this is why Baba says, today Baba says, you are Shiv Shaktis and you are Ruhani social worker. You are spiritual social workers. So Baba says, do you understand that? So have you ever paid attention that in every story of Shakti, it is mentioned that Shakti was created by Shiv. So, Shakti was, so when Durga was created, so they say Tridev came and they created Durga. So, Shakti is always a creation. And Baba says that the Shakti that is created by God, that is you. And Baba says you are the Shiv Shakti and you are the spiritual social worker. You serve the souls And this is the highest seva that is possible, because if you water the root, then everything is put right, and the soul is the root, the seed, right? So the soul is the seed. So when you do the seva of the soul, then physical seva, social seva, everything is done in that. So Baba says, you must understand that your clan, your caste duty is the highest, and you must churn on it and also do it, because you can't just have affirmations that I am Shiv Shakti, I am Shiv Shakti. You also have to act like Shiv Shakti. So there has to be, so the beautiful word that we learn in Gyan is Om. So our actions, utterance and mind have to be in alignment. So if I am in my mind churning that I am Shiv Shakti and I do the highest job, highest seva, which is doing the spiritual seva of every soul, then obviously my words, my actions should match that. And if that is so, then this intoxication will stay permanent. And do you know that intoxication is a very interesting stage, because in an intoxicated state, reality changes. Yes, reality changes. And somebody, there was this one person, and he was into a lot of drinking, and I once asked him, why do you drink? So in my early stages, I used to be very curious about why people do what they do. So I asked him, why do you drink? So he said, I just don't like my reality, and this is a very good escape. Yes, but the thing is, but then I asked him, so are you able to escape it? So he said, no, now even if I am drunk whole day, I cannot escape the reality, because I am, again, that nasha is not enough. So that is what happens. So any kind of, so when you don't like the reality, you want to escape from it, then people engage in physical intoxication. But Baba says that is very counterproductive, because you are worsening your reality by doing that. And also, that escape mechanism also is not foolproof. And again, you need more and more of the nasha to be in that be in that ebriated state, and then it stops working. But Baba says, when you have this intoxication of who you belong to, what is your clan, then in this intoxication there are two benefits. One, in this intoxicated state, your present context doesn't bother you. So you are so intoxicated with your reality that this present fleeting moment and the problems and challenges that it brings cannot bother you. So you stay up and above this. This is one benefit. And the second thing is, in the spiritual intoxication, you do actions which actually change your present context. So the more you think about the truth, the more you churn on the truth, the more you receive power to follow Srimad and work on Baba's directions. The reality of your individual self and the collective reality of the world starts to shift. So this is why Baba says this intoxication is not only desirable but necessary, because until and unless you are intoxicated with this remembrance of Baba and this awareness of the truth, you cannot stay detached from the pain and sorrow and misery of this world. So you need this. And then in this intoxication, you are able to do many things which you are not able to do otherwise, and that shifts the state of the world. So Baba says, apni ghoto or nasha chadhao. Yes, so you have to churn on who you are, who you belong to, and think about it so much that you feel the power of who you really are. And in that sense of power, in that sense of intoxication, you can follow Srimad. Following every direction of Baba will be child's play, and doing world seva will also become child's play in the state of intoxication. And then today Baba says that, the lift to go home is only in place in this confluence age. So, the home is in the beyond, and then without a lift you can't go, and then the lift is not there in the 4 yugas. So, Satyug, Treta Yug, Dwapar Yug, Kali Yug, that lift is not there. So even if sannyasis make so much effort to go back home, that effort is inconsequential because there is no lift. They cannot go. And Baba says, only in Sangam Yuga this lift is in place. But, again there is a but, not everybody can climb that lift. Not everybody can sit in that lift. Who can sit in that lift? Those who become pure and become Swadarshan Chakradhari. So, first, so have you seen that picture of a yogi? So, in the course, we have a picture of a yogi sitting on a table which has 4 legs. Okay, and the 4 legs are celibacy, brahmacharya, satsang, everyday murli, shuddha ann, purity of food, and divya gun, adopting divine virtues. Yes. So when Baba says you have to have purity, purity means all these 4 things. Yes, celibacy, very integral part of purity. Second thing, murli, because you cannot have purity without the murli. So if I ask you to clean a room, you will tell me where is the dusting cloth and the broom and the dustpan. You will ask me for these things because you cannot clean without having the material to clean. And Baba says purity and murli are connected. If you don't listen to the murli, how will you clean that which is not Srimad, that which is Ravan Mat? So the basic reason for impurity within us is Ravan Mat. So all those vicious belief systems that we are holding inside about who we are, who we belong to, what needs to be done, right, wrong, good, bad, everything. So Baba says, until and unless you listen to Murli, there cannot be purity. So these 4 things are purity. So food is very important for purity because jaisa anna vaisa man. So if the purity of food is not there, then it is not possible that the purity of mind will be there. And then there is Divya Gun. So there have to be divine virtues in life. Otherwise our actions are not pure. So when I have anger, when I have bitterness, when I have lack of patience, when I have lack of sweetness, when I have lack of tolerance, then my actions will always be impure. And when you perform impure actions, that cannot be purity. So Baba says that, have you seen that when when the flight has to take off, first it has to hold ground properly. Yes, so it has to run and it has to hold ground properly, and then it has to take off. So Baba says purity is holding the ground. So purity is taking the base, purity is the base, and then Swadershan Chakra is taking the flight. So when you pay attention to these ground level things, which is celibacy, pure food, daily murli, and paying attention to divine virtues, not creating sinful action. So when all of these things are there, then Baba says, then you have to take care of what you are churning inside. Then pay attention to your man and buddhi, and when you focus your man and buddhi and take it away from this world and take it to the soul world, take it to Satyug, take it to your complete worship worthy stage, take it to your angelic stage, your pure Brahmin stage, then this flight will help you, rise above your vices and your vicious accounts and help you create the strength and the power to engage in actions according to Srimad. So this is very important. So Baba says there is a lift, which is the possibility to go home has arisen now, but there are two things you have to do. Pay attention to purity in all aspects, and then churn the Swadershan Chakra. Keep thinking about the reality of your elevated stage. So you are the seed soul in soul world, absolutely pure, absolutely full. And then you are the perfect deity, full of all divine virtues in Satyug, Treta Yuga. And then you are the worship worthy soul who everybody is invoking in bhakti, and it is your final form which they are. So have you seen that when a murti is created in bhakti, then they do something called pran pratishtha. So they invoke the soul in that. So which soul are they invoking in that murti? It's your final form that they are carrying in the memory. So when we souls in the end of Sangam Yuga, when we arrive at our worship worthy stage, our complete stage, where every devotee is receiving what they are seeking from us, through us. Of course Baba is giving, but through our complete stage, then that memory stays with the Bhagat. And in bhakti, that Bhagat starts invoking that image of us, that memory of us, and placing it in the idol, and they are worshipping that. And then Baba says, you are the Brahmin, so you are the one who is the Shiv Shakti. Baba today says you are the Yagya Rakshak, so you are the ones who have to take care of the sacrificial fire. And Baba says, Baba gives this very good title. Baba says, you are the teachers who give teachings of Raj Yoga. So Baba says, you are the teachers, you are the master teachers, you are the Yagya Rakshak who take care of the sacrificial fire. You are the Brahmins, you are the Shiv Shaktis who do the social seva, so the spiritual social work. And Baba says, if you just remind yourself